Hello and welcome to Floral Juice. My name's John McDonald and today we're going to show you how to make a simple arrangement using this container. Now this container, I was shopping and I went into a charity shop or a secondhand store and I found this vase. And what attracted me to it was I noticed that it had this inside, which is some people would call a frog, and it's basically a glass insert that has holes. So this allows you to create an arrangement without using floral foam. And the vase itself, they had a sign on it saying crystal, and I thought it's probably not, but actually I think it is. So it was a great price. I think it's a nice look. It's a nice container that you could use without this. You could even use it for sweeties or for other items. But today we're going to create our design with this insert for our base. So I'm going to add some water first. And for our flowers, we've got a nice range of flowers, and I just wanted to keep this quite simple. So I must admit, I've never used this, I've never tried it. So this is going to be a first for me, and hopefully we're going to get a good result. So our materials that we're going to use, we've got some nice skimmia, I've got a little bit of salal, some eucalyptus and some viburnum. I've also got some lisianthus, some tulips, 3 roses, because I think the roses will give us a nice focal point, a little bit of freesia and a little bit of Astrantia. So just a nice selection to give us a kind of garden style look. So really, the first material I want to use, I'm going to pop in some of this salal. So with these holes, we've got holes around the outside, we've got holes around the middle. So I think with the salal, what we'll do is we'll just put in some pieces round the edge using the holes that are on the outer edge. So this is interesting because the holes, yeah, the ones in the middle have got a bigger hole, the ones on the outer edge, not so big. So that's actually on the big side for that. But as long as it's being held, then this is the main thing. And our viburnum, what I love about this is it's quite branched. So we've already got a little bit of volume there that when we put it in, it's giving us, again, it's going to add to that structure. So we can pop that in. So I'm just breaking this down into what I would call like a unit. So we can create that. So we're beginning to build up a little bit of volume. I'm thinking this is a little bit long, so we can make that a little bit shorter. So initially I thought with this we were going to make an arrangement that's quite big and loose and open. But actually what I think might be quite nice is to do something that's more of a posy style. So really just keeping it quite round. So again, we're going to add a little bit of our skimmia. So I'm really looking with the skimmia to see what is quite branched. And my worry with this was, will the holes be enough to give us support for the flowers? So what I'm finding here is that's used quite a few of the holes. So it might get to the point where we actually can't place some of the flowers in because we've run out of holes. So I think what we'll do at this point is we'll add the roses. So this way we know that we've got these secure. So with a posy design, actually kind of working 1, 2, 3 makes it look balanced. That's quite a good way to approach it. I'm just taking off these outer petals. They're not really true petals. Sometimes people think, oh, your rose isn't good. But it's not so much that the rose isn't good, it's a guard petal for the flower. They're never really a true petal. So let's have a little look. Yeah. So we've got a nice balance with our roses. What I'm thinking now is the Astrantia is really quite beautiful. But again, this is branched, so we're getting a little bit of volume with that. So in some ways it won't matter if the flowers are supported by the other material. That's not really going to be an issue unless you were making this for going somewhere else and you need to transport it. As long as it's secure for where it's going to be, that's the main thing. But the main thing is that the flowers will be in water. So we're going to add a few tulips. I really love the tulips. And what I managed to do with that one was actually put it in a hole where I just put an Astrantia. So with these bigger holes, we're able to basically work 2 flowers into the one hole, which is good. And I think what's nice about this is we use foam a lot. So being able to do something that doesn't need foam, doesn't have foam, I think is quite interesting. It's also more sustainable and environmental. But I think it makes you work in a different way or question how you work. So if you're always working with foam, you tend to get yourself into a routine. So to find something like this and have a little go, it just makes you work or think about how you're working, which is quite a good way. And maybe at the start of a year, just to revisit how we do things, it's not a bad idea. So I'm just adding a little bit of the freesia, and the nice thing with the freesia is it's giving us some beautiful arching stems, some interesting buds. And this is looking quite light and open. I don't think we want any more of them, but I think we'll add a little bit of eucalyptus. And again, I'm really just dropping that in. It's being supported by the other material. And really when we're adding a lot of variety, or a bit of variety, it's just to make this look more naturalistic. It's very rare in the wild that things would be, you know, just 2 varieties. That doesn't look so natural. So if we've got 3 or 4 varieties of foliage, it gives you a much more naturalistic look. And then really just our lisianthus. Now these have got great stems for this frog because they would just fit in there no problem at all. So on the outer holes where they were quite narrow, then actually they would fit through really well. But again, as long as the arrangement's complete and it's quite stable, it doesn't matter if you don't use every hole. So. And really, I think that's all we need. I think it's very easy to just keep going and you end up with so much material. But really for this vase, we've got quite a beautiful crystal vase. We want the light to hit that. We want the light to feel like it's moving around the arrangement as well. So that we end up with quite a natural, simple arrangement and just in a kind of classic style. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you've enjoyed it, then please click to subscribe and tap that bell so you keep up to date with all our new videos to come. So thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.